How's it, guys, and welcome back to my channel. And let me have a seat. Most probably my most awaited video and my most difficult video to shoot in one video today. Why? Because subwoofers are difficult things to convey across to you guys. I can make it shake things and rattle things, but that is not always what you're looking for in a subwoofer. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go through these subs. These for me are the best subs that I have selected for a very budget, well, I wouldn't say very budget constant. I would say from a decent budget to a more mid-range budget before you go to silly money. These are the ones that I selected, and these are the subs that I will use. In fact, these are the subs that I do use. I bought these all of my own money, bar some of them were sent like the definitive for demo, but I ended up buying it in any case, because if I like a product, I will buy it and it will be on demo for my clients to come and experience, and then maybe purchase if they feel the need and they like that product. So what I'll do, I'm going to go over the prices of each of these products, because that does play a huge role to all of us, because not all of us have the same budgets and we need to work in those budgets. So I'm going to name the budgets. I am going to name what I think makes that a good subwoofer. We all have different priorities when it comes to subwoofers, and so I will actually name the pros and the cons of said sub. Okay, so let's start from the side. So to the side we have the Validines. I have selected the two Validines that I would use. Yes, there are more, there's much more expensive. These range from the one below this store, the Impact 10 or the X10, and then the X12, and here you have the DB 8, 10, 12, 15. These are the best bang for buck for me. You also have much higher, going up to almost 200,000 Rand on the DD range, but these are the ones I sell most and the ones I would use. This being the X12. Retail on this is 11,999 Rand, so let's call it 12,000 Rand. This is the DB15, self-explanatory, 12-inch and 15-inch. If you did not watch my unboxing videos, go back, watch that first before you run into this. Because if you run into this straight, you're going to be missing all the other stuff. But if you just want to see which one is best in my opinion, watch this video. DB15, 15-inch. We have the SVS PB1000 Pro, retail 29,990 Rand, so let's call it 30,000 Rand. Then we have the biggest out of all of them in sheer size and weight and scale. This is the SPL 150 from Clips, also being a 12-inch on the SVS, 15-inch on the Clips. Retail on this boy has changed a few times. I might just adjust the price, or I'm going to put it in there in any case. If memory serves, 26,999, so let's call it 27,000. Then the dark horse that came in last week, the Definitive Technology Descent DN12. This having a 12-inch, but actually having 3 drivers, so it's a 12-inch to the front and 2 12s to the side. Be the ones to the side of passive radiators, so only the front one is powered. Okay, let's start with the Definitive Technology, because I have it plugged in and we will move our way across to that way as I move the power cable. How we are going to be testing this is, I don't want to get flagged, so I have a bass song lined up just from YouTube, going to my Marantz, going out of a Wireworld RCA into each subwoofer. All of them are set to half gain on the power, and the crossover frequency is set to max. And then on my receiver, I have the XO to where I like them. But yeah, for this test, they're all going to be tested the same. So let's get on to it. I'm playing just bass frequencies. So you won't be hearing any songs, you will be hearing the frequency, and you might be hearing the room rattle as we go. So let's start with the Definitive. Okay. Let's put the volume of all of them to -10. Unfortunately, I can't take the grill off because it's all the way a sock. So this is the best I can do. Okay, let me just put the camera back. So that is the definitive. Let's go on to the next. Okay guys, so next up we have the SPL 150 from Clips, the biggest one out of the lot. Here we go. Okay, okay guys, I just decided this is gonna be the best way to film this. I'm gonna move the camera around so you can see the movement of each sub. So next up, the SVS PB 1000 Pro. Okay, just had to move some cables and stuff around. Here we go with the two last ones, the valid iron. This will be the X12, the Impact X12. Okay, then last but definitely not least, and the most expensive out of all of them, the DB15. Okay guys, I hope you found that helpful. It was a mission. You didn't see behind the scenes as I had to move these things around, get a power cable this side, get the RCA. So I hope you enjoyed that. It was a lot of effort, but I enjoyed it. So you could see the SPL on these subs and you could sort of hear what they are doing close up, which is important when selecting a sub. So I will now tell you the pros and the cons according to me. This opinion is my own out of my years of doing this, and which sub I would prefer if you had me keep one of these subwoofers. Okay, let's start with the cheapest boy, the Impact X12. For the money still, I feel this is the best sub you can buy. If you want to go cheaper than this, I did not include the cheap Clipses and the cheap Polks because they are below 10,000, but if you have a budget below 10,000, don't go for the Clips. Those entry clip subs, this is great, but the entry clip subs are absolutely, they're horrid. All they do is go boo, 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 and they've got no frequency response. You can't tame them down. They suck. Go for just below 10,000 rand. You can go for either let the name just come to me. Oh, the Polk Audio, the HTS 10 or 12. They cost exactly the same as the Clips, but they are way better. Well, better build quality, better sound, better everything. So below 10,000, I've done this experience, Polk HDS 10 or 12, nothing else in my opinion. Above 10,000, this boy here, it's very good. This is a very good sub. It has its limitations. As I find with all sort of smaller Validines, they EQ to a point where they sort of shut off. They give you max, they get to maximum XPL, and the curve sort of just goes linear and flat and doesn't do anything more. You do have a bit of noise from the sub at high volumes, like we were now with, those were insane SPL limits. And then you can hear a bit of noise from the subwoofer, but if EQ'd and tuned correctly, all of that goes away. Bottom ported, so the chuff is absolutely minimal to a point where I've not experienced any chuff. So for the money, very good sub. My marks go for this if you have a bit more than 10,000 to spend. Let's go up in money. So from there, the next boy in the lineup is the Definitive at a retail of 22,000 Rand. Guys, locally in SA, 22,000 Rand. But I did my homework and something is strange here, because both my mind's eluding me today, it's the cold. Both the SVS and the Definitive are both US based companies, and they are brought in by the same importer, which is Homation, as you guys all know. Overseas, you pick this boy up for $800. Overseas, you pick the Definitive up for $1,400. So almost double the price. So if you have to go on a margin of overseas pricing, that is the price of a SVS PB 3000, which here costs way over 40,000 Rand. So locally on our prices, don't ask me how that happens, that is the best sub you can get for 22,000 Rand. The best, the best, the best. Go get it now before they realize they made a mistake, because it's a mistake. That thing is too cheap. It's great. I want to come back to that sub after I've worked my way through this. But let's talk about what it did well. But I want to come back to it. But let's talk about what it did well. Passive radiator design, if you guys don't know, quick history. A sealed sub has no ports. Very little EQ tuning needed on a sealed sub. Downside of a sealed sub, it gets to a point where it's reached its limits and it just can't do any more in that cavity, and it just goes a bit wonky. A ported sub, a lot of EQ tuning going on in there. The size of the box, as you can see on this, is a much bigger box. This has got a slot port, so to eliminate chuffing, but can be a bit boomy, does not always play music that well as movies. So back to a passive radiator design. They took all the guesswork out of it. There's no ports, there's not sealed. The radiators expand, gives you extra bass. For me, my favorite subwoofer design of all time. Downside, they are expensive. This is not expensive. It's expensive, it's 22,000 Rand. But for what you are getting, if you know this game, that is an absolute bargain. On that sub, I played music, I played movies. It was all sublime. Hotel California, the double bass drum, you could hear it perfectly. It mixed in with the 600 M2s flawlessly, to a point where I found I don't even need the 8000s. It's that darn good. Okay, let's go on to the next boy. Price range will be the SPL 150. It's a hawking beast. I have two of these in my clip cinema and I can't fault them. It's a beast. Well, I can fault them slightly, but it's minimal. So downside is, again, we go to the port. So they did a slot port, and it does chuff. When we go to the volumes now, I don't know if you guys could hear the chuff. I could actually feel the wind sitting on the couch there, and it does get to a point where you get a bit of that is chuffing if you guys don't know what it is. But again, calibrated to the right volumes, etc., etc. You can eliminate all that. I'm showing their flaws now on purpose because I want you guys to know pros and cons. For cinema money, I'm not taking music in part because these don't do music that well for me unless you like very bassy music. But if you like the Eagles, Hotel California, that sort of music, you don't want your bass to be boomy. You want it to be precise and accurate and fast. This does not do that. You want to go sealed sub or you want to go for the definitive. So this is a movie sub. If you want to do a cinema on a budget, two of these for below 50,000 Rand, done. Okay, so next is the most expensive boy in the room. A nice and compact 15-inch. It's great. Like you saw now, we did the testing. It shaked this room the most out of all of them. Being sealed, it is fast and it's accurate. Downside, sealed cabinets. Like I said, with all the Validines I've tested, except for the very expensive ones, there's a room curve in there. Don't know if it's onboard DSP. You get to a point where the sub hits a roof and it sort of protects itself and it doesn't go anymore, which on a sealed sub you need, because if you get to certain volumes, this thing will start just going all over the place, not be able to sort of, there's not enough volume inside that cabinet. But don't let that deter you. It's an expensive sub at 35,000 Rand, but it's a great sub. It's very good. Like I say, fast and accurate on music. You can do music with this, and it does movies very well, as you would expect for the price. So my verdict will upset you guys. I guess maybe after watching this far, you would have now know which sub I would choose. If you told me keep one of these subs and maybe even make it two of them, but let's say just one, Definitive Technology. That sub is so good. If you go back, watch this video again and go through the sub testing one by one, all of these subs at the -10, half gain, playing bass I Love You, did have some subwoofer or port noise. You could hear a bit of a, not on that. That thing, it's like it just goes subsonic and just powers the room without putting any strain on it, due to that passive radiator design and their build quality. Definitive Technology does not get the hype it deserves. It's a very underrated brand. They are just phenomenally good. They must be one of my favorite brands, and I like them because they're underdogs and they're not that well known as SVS, but they deserve it. So my winner, overall sound, overall build quality, overall everything, priced locally. You guys in the States are paying a bit of a premium, so there it might be a different game, because there you need to compare to the 3,000. But as for us local SA boys, hands down. Build quality, 10 out of 10. Sound, 10 out of 10. Everything, 10 out of 10. This one, sound for movies, I would give a 9 out of 10. For music, I would give a 5 out of 10. Build quality, I would give an 8 out of 10. Very good sub for the price. SVS, it's their baby SVS, but it's still a 30,000 Rand sub. Build quality, 8 out of 10. Sound, 8 out of 10. Actually, everything on this 8 out of 10. Very good sub. This one, build quality, I would give a 6. It's not the best build quality. Sound, I would give a 7 or maybe even an 8, because it is what it is for the price. It's very good. Movies, music, everything on this was very decent. Very decent for the price. Very good subwoofer. Again, for the price, can't beat this. Actually, out of all of these for the price, you can't really fault them. That's why I chose them. This one, most expensive one. Build quality on this, 9 out of 10. Sound, 9 out of 10. Some small flaws. Overall, 8 out of 10. But my winner out of this shootout, Definitive Descent DN12. I wish we got the 15, but we don't. I think that 15 will be like the only sub I need. I don't think I would need any other sub. And that said, I do have the X12 from Miller & Crystal. I do have the PB16 from SVS. And I really think that 15-inch, I wish I could get that in. Homation, guys, if you are watching, I know Alan feels the same way, but the big guns need to decide this. Nick, maybe look at bringing in that 15. If you can get it, like this is 22,000 and that can be maybe 30,000, you will sell. I will sell them for you. They will be great if it's anything to go by from this. Guys, okay, hope you enjoyed that. In the comments, let me know, what's your favorite sub? What did you hear what I maybe missed? And how did this convey across on my microphone? Could you at least sort of hear which sub does what? If you want to see more like this, please like, subscribe. Till the next video. Cheers.